I'm confused. Boom! Fixed. Alright, today, as beautiful as it looks, it's kind of rolly. We're not going anywhere. The wind's blowing pretty good, and we're kind of bored on the boat. So, you know what? I'm going to do a video about upgrades that I've done to the boat that might be helpful if you're a cat owner, and it might be especially helpful if you're a Fountaine Pajot owner, because one of the main problems we've had with the boat is the autopilot has always kind of been terrible. Maybe you guys have heard of us, heard us kind of complaining about it. Yesterday was awful. The autopilot was 45 degrees off of the compass heading, and I knew something was going on. So I started looking into it, and it is supposed to be mounted in the front half of the boat and away from anything metallic or especially magnetic. So through a bunch of work, I located the initial computer unit is located in the engine compartment. So I found it in the engine compartment, traced the wire all the way back through the boat, taking apart panels, and I located it in all places under our bed. Under here, weird little access panel. I'm gonna take this all apart, show you guys. This is not the front half of the boat. This is the back half of the boat. So I'm gonna relocate that to the front half of the boat, away from anything metallic or magnetic. That's number one. Number two is I changed the way the main sheet attaches to the boom. I'm gonna show you this. This is really, really great. I know a lot of people have been reaching out on cruisers groups talking about similar problems, so I came up with a solution for that. And third, we collect our rainwater here. It's been really helpful. We get so much rain that, and the catamarans collect it so naturally anyways, doesn't take a lot to dump it into your holding tank. So it means less wear and tear on your water maker if you have one, and definitely a lot less work if you don't. All right. Also stay tuned to the end, because I'll show you a bunch of other little things. I'll run through them real quick. You don't need to see exactly how I did it, just that I did it. A bunch of real good upgrades that could work well on any sailboat or catamaran. Okay. Babe, you want to give me a hand with the bed again real quick? If you don't mind? Yesterday. No, that's been done. Okay, thank you. Man, they say not to mount it by any electrical wires or anything like that. It literally has an electrical wire running right over the top of it. Ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Well, this might not happen, or this might be a lot bigger job. This is all the extra for the one wire that supplies the information, but the power line is this long. Like, why do that? This is the extra. I spent the next several hours fishing out every last possible inch of spare power wire from the maze of electrical in the hull, and still had to splice on a few extra feet of new power wire. All right, new home complete. Moment of truth. Let's see what is going on.
We did it.
Okay.
Look at that.
031. Okay. I should go just a little bit more, don't you think?
I mean,
we're like
off
5 degrees off.
2 degrees.
040.
And what are we reading?
037.
That's it.
Really?
Yeah. Spot on. We are literally a degree off. Good job, honey.
Wow, thanks. I don't hear that very often.
Oh,
what was the second thing?
what?
Oh, second thing is the way the main sheet was set up on the boom made a ton of noise and also added some unnecessary torsional pressure to the boom. And if you accidentally jibe badly enough, you can break the gooseneck at the boom. So I've corrected that. I'll show you what I did. All right, the main reason for doing the change on the main sheet was first, it reduced the load on the boom. Ultimately, that was probably the best reason to do it. But really, the real reason was because it made a ton of noise. All the time.
What?
Is that about right?
Try, I don't know.
You do it.
It's a little higher.
I can't do it as high as it did it. It was awful though. Just every movement. And just wears on you. And so the way it was set up, it had these two blocks as the lower blocks. They attached right down here, and they were metal on metal. That was the attachment, metal on metal. And then the ones that were worse were these right here. They have grease all over them because we tried to quiet them down. They mounted up here, 2 of them. And the noise that these guys produced was insane. So that was the main motivation, but the biggest reason was it reduces the stress on the boom, and I'll tell you why. When the main is powered up and has air, it's pulling in one direction. And to counter that force, the main sheet here pulls the bottom of the boom at the opposite direction. So what it's doing is it's twisting the boom at all times. And that's okay, but man, it loads the boom up. It also makes the gooseneck squeak too. And if anything's gonna give, anything's gonna break, it's gonna be the gooseneck. So the way I have it, it has these recovery straps, these heavy duty straps. And so the big thing here is that the strap will rotate as the load on the boom changes. As the boom swings over, the straps will rotate. So essentially the load is always transferred to the center of the boom. So now we have the change in the mounting hardware up here. Not only is the load different, but it's dead quiet when it rotates around. Next down is a new recovery double pulley that it does attach with metal, but there's not a lot of rotation there because everything rotates right here. So that's quiet. And then at the bottom, I've used a soft shackle to attach this new pulley set. It's a double pulley set to the Traveler, to the car. And so that's quiet. So all in all, a really great change. And you know, it didn't take under $100, I would say, to redo this whole thing. I'm not using marine grade components for the most part. This is more a recovery and rescue stuff for harnesses and recovery like that. So well above the load criteria that we'd need, but just not marine. So that's why it's not $5,000. The whole thing and the whole package costs about $100. Next up is the water collection that I'm doing on the boat. It is just ideal. All of this real estate, all of this space, all kind of runs together. So all of the water that comes off of this back half goes into this tube, which is notched, and it dumps into this jerry can. That I save for cleaning the deck and whatever. So the front half of it all runs into this gutter, this rail, and the rail, or the gutter, runs forward. They come together, they dump into the mast. It was going into the ocean. So I have built, out of rubber plastic, a funnel here that collects all of the rain. And there's a pre-filter here, pretty simple. So from the funnel, it runs down the tube and goes into a collection bin. So in the collection bin, I've got a float switch. When it fills up with enough water, it turns on, powers a pump. The pump pressurizes it through a 5-micron water filter. That dumps directly into the filling tube into our holding tank. Then that is perfectly good to even drink, but we really just use it for showering and washing our hands. We actually just take it a step further and have a third water filter at the sink for our drinking water. The rest of it we just shower and wash our hands and do the dishes with, but it would be perfectly fine to drink too. We just take that extra step. So that's the water collection system, and we get a lot. We don't hardly use our water maker anymore at all. There's been a couple times when it hasn't rained for a while and then we have to use it, but pretty much live off of rainwater. So that does it for the water collection. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys was actually probably one of the most important, at least on this boat, is the safety hatches. They've been known to fail, and there's a solution that I tweaked a little bit, made a little better. So I want to show this to you guys. This is important. All right, so we love our boat. She's rock solid. She's a great solid boat, but like all boats, she has issues. And one of the major ones is concerning this hatch. These hatches have been known to fall out, actually, which could be catastrophic. You'd probably lose the boat if you were sailing. There's been a few that it was only a partial fail and they were able to keep the hatch in. But it was a nightmare, and there's been a few others that have fallen out completely and the boat has been lost. So there's a recall on these hatches right now. They have a quick solution to lock in. The fault is at the top corners. There's nothing actually but glue holding the top corners in. So if that glue fails, which it's been known to, this whole hatch could fall out because there's only the two bottom handles that can actually hold it in. So I've actually done a little bit better job than what they recommended, and I've created these little brackets that mount. They mount up here at this top corner, one on each side, and they lock in all four corners. So therefore, even if the glue was to fail, the glass wouldn't go anywhere. So luckily, it's actually plexiglass. It's a hardened plexiglass, so I can drill through it more easily. Boom! Fixed.